Thank you, everyone. We'll waste no time. Just a quick moment for me to introduce on the top table, of course, the head coach and captain of the winning team this evening from Australia, of course, Eddie Jones and Dave Baracchi. We'll go straight to questions. First question, please. Second row.
Hi, Eddie. Was that a bit closer than you expected? And given the way Portugal played, do you feel there's a realistic hope of staying in the tournament after next weekend?
Oh, well, we only had one objective this week, and that was to be alive, and we're still alive. I'm not interested in conjecturing about Portugal and Fiji next week. You know, as I said, we had one objective and we've achieved that. So you know, I'm pleased for the players. They've worked really hard, as they have all tournament, and they deserve some accolades for their performance today.
Back through, please.
I was going to say, Eddie, how much pride do you take in the development of young forwards such as Angus Bell, Rob Valentini, Nick Frost, those guys that really powered their way sort of over in that first half to set up the win?
Yeah, no, they're all really progressing, those young guys. You know, when you consider most of them played under 10 tests, I think this has been a really pivotal tournament for those guys. And they'll take away some bad memories and they'll take away some good memories, and we don't know if we've got a chance to make any more memories. But they will have collected some important experience, some important knowledge, and the chance to learn to get better in the future.
Eddie, evening. How do you go about this week that you've got coming up in terms of keeping your minds in the game for what could happen, but knowing that realistically it's probably quite a small chance?
Yeah, well, we don't have to worry about whether it's a chance or not. You know, we've got a program in place where we're going to have 3 days off regardless, and then we'll have 3 days of good training, and we'll look to get better. You know, we want to finish next week better than we are now, and that's the aim. If we get an opportunity to do that on the field, fantastic.
Next question. Here, please.
Dave, can you enlighten us at all about what sort of was said on the field? It sort of seemed a bit of a sombre moment, like rather than celebratory. Yeah, when all the players were sort of in that group after full time.
No, I think it was celebratory. I'm proud of the boys. Tough week to turn it around. We did that, and as Eddie said, we got the job done. We had an objective tonight, and we got it done. So it wasn't sombre at all. It was positive. We know first that we've got things we need to work on, and we're working hard to do that. So yeah, I was proud of the boys and the way we turned it around.
And what are your plans for the 3 days off? Are most of the players going to get out of town and sort of try and freshen up somewhere?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Are you staying in St. Eddie?
I'm not sure yet. I
Okay.
just worry about the game.
It is. I guess it's a bit of a bittersweet mood in the team at the moment. Obviously, you said before you're happy to stay alive, but it's it's out of your own hands what happens next week. How do you sum up your mood and the feeling with everyone? Because it's an unusual situation to be in where you're at now.
Well, today I'm pleased for the players, mate. I'm pleased that they played with a lot of toughness, a lot of character, and at times we were clinical and at times we weren't, which is where we need to improve. But I'm really pleased for the players, so that sums up my mood.
Were there any things today that made you think about what could have been if things had panned out differently?
Oh no, I'm not one to do that. You've got to just take everything that comes your way. You know, I had one of they've got a number of French coaches, the Portuguese, and one of them came in and said, "What a wonderful game! You know, 45,000 people at St. Etienne, Australia versus Portugal, fantastic atmosphere. How good is this game of rugby? You know, we're lucky to be involved in the game of rugby. What a beautiful game."
Question. Great. Thank you.
Eddie, you had a new centre pairing out there tonight. How did you think they went?
Yeah, no, pretty well, mate. You know, it's obviously a different sort of game, so it's hard to compare the performance of these two, the performance of Samu and Jordan, because they're different sorts of games, but certainly both of them acquitted themselves really well today, and worked hard off the ball. When you play against Portugal, who are a swing attack side, your centres have got to work particularly hard in defence, and they showed some good touches in attack as well.
And Samu said previously he doesn't think he needs to work on his running style or address his running style. Given the incident tonight, do you think he might need to revisit that?
Well, I think it was the use of his forearm, where he misjudged where he put his forearm.
Next question.
Eddie, looking at the campaign as a whole, what's most disappointed you, and on the other hand, what are the bright spots you would take from it?
Look, the disappointment is that we haven't controlled our own destiny. In the pool stage, you want to control your own destiny. We haven't done that, and as I said before, I take full responsibility for that. What am I pleased with? When I look at the squad and I look at the number of players that have improved individually, I'm really pleased. And a lot of these players have got really bright future, as this team has a bright future. And if we stick at it, keep working hard, keep focusing on the things that are important, we'll be a good team, and we won't have this somberness of what's involved around Australian rugby at the moment.
You're here, please, and then...
Eddie, speaking of the bright sparks, Angus Bell, a couple of them, there are plenty of them. How much do you want to be involved going forward so that you can usher through those guys over the next couple of years?
Yeah, I'm going to have 3 days off and then 3 days of training, mate, so I'm heavily involved. That's the only thing I have to worry about at this stage.
But if it is...
that's the only answer I'm going to give you at this stage.
Okay, but if it is indeed...
I just said that, mate. Okay? I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a focus to coach this week, which is 3 days off. You want to know where I want to go? Yeah. Oh, you want to know? I'll have to make something up, mate, because I've got no idea at this stage. Maybe take some carver to Fiji. I think you're giving Marika and Sully my credit card and get him to go to the Fijian camp with some carver. Maybe that might work.
Here, please.
Eddie, could you just give us an update on your injuries there? Like Nick Frost, was it his knee? And also Carter obviously ruled out before the match. And was everyone else okay?
Yeah, well, it's probably unlikely that Nick and Carter will take any more part in the tournament. But conversely, we've got Taniela and Will. Given we have another game, they'll be ready to go.
And was Carter's injury, when did that happen?
Warming up on Friday. Thursday. And then, but it was only a irritation, and then since we got a scan, it's a little bit more serious than we thought.
Requiring surgery, or?
Not at this stage.
And Nick's, it was his knee?
Yeah.
We have more questions in the room. Second row, please.
Hi, Eddie. During the 10 first minutes, did you had some doubts in your team, or was this the scenario of the game?
No, but I really enjoy the way Portugal play. The spirit they play with is fantastic, and I think Patrice Legisquet's done a great job coaching them. And we always knew they were going to have a period in the game where the ball goes side to side. The crowd gets excited, and we made an error in defence. So that was always to be expected. I probably didn't think it was going to happen so early in the game. But I love the way that Dave got the boys together, and we rebounded pretty quickly.
Here, please.
Eddie, just wondering, was it stressful losing Carter and not having that specialist 10 cover for game day? And then also, will you look at, obviously not clear whether there'll be another game, but will you look at bringing in reinforcements for injured guys?
No, not stressful at all, mate. We have players training different positions, and particularly, since the advent of HIA, you've got to become a lot more flexible. So Samu's done a little bit of training there, and he would have been able to handle the role without too many issues. Going forward, look, we'll just make a judgment later in the week about what we do there.
Eddie, at the start of the match, you had some penalties, but you didn't go for try. You needed a 4 try at least today, which you did. You managed to get in the end. What was your thinking behind it?
Well, it was pretty simple, mate. And I recall the game. Some of the players are too young to remember, where New South Wales Waratahs were chasing a bonus point victory to make the semi-finals. I was coaching the Brumbies at the time, and the ball got kicked back to Matt Dunning, who was a fairly colourful loose-head prop, who kicked the field goal and then was jumping up and down, and they needed to score a try to get their bonus point, and they ended up missing out, and they had a massive fight that night, the players. So use that as a bit of a case study with the leaders. You got to win the game. The whole thing is to win the game, and then the bonus points comes on the end of that. And I was really pleased with the discipline of our players doing that, because it gets to 3-0 and the whole crowd's booing, everyone's booing. It's the big thing now to boo. And so they're booing, so they feel some emotional pressure there, and they stuck at it. They've made some great decisions. His third game now as captain of Australia. They've made some really good decisions and stayed disciplined.
I just wonder, where are you going to watch the match, Fiji and Portugal next Sunday? Do you have any plan for that?
I haven't really thought about it, but we'll be back at St Etienne, so probably there. Yep.
I have 2 more questions behind, and then we'll go here.
Hi, Coach. I would like to know from today, you have to be more schizophrenic. Today you have to beat Portugal, and next week, on next Sunday, you will be to support the Portuguese. How do you will manage this during the week, this week?
Look, it's not a matter of supporting Portugal. We've done all we can. The game will take its course. We don't control the result, so I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about the result. We've had our go at the World Cup. We're sitting where we are. We accept our position, and if it happens that we get another chance, so be it. If it doesn't, we've only got to look at ourselves.
That's good. Sorry, could I just ask you to wait for the microphone?
Eddie, you just talked about booing. Dan Bigger was talking about it in the week, said he doesn't like the way it's in the game. What do you make of it, and when you're on the receiving end of it, how does it feel?
Well, at least they know who I am, I suppose. Look, I think, rugby's been a game based on values, and, fair play's been one of them. But I think the way we referee the game, or the way the game's being refereed, is causing crowd problems. Because we've got so many stoppages in the game now. We've got a TMO for everything. And, I'm of the firm opinion that we're destroying the flow of the game. I've said this a number of times, that we need to make the referee the sole judge of the game. And if there is something that is an obvious red card that is foul play, then we go back to that. We've got to keep the game moving. I think part of it's because the crowd are so discontent with the flow of the game. If you look at any game, I don't know how many minutes they spent down there for that TMO on the Maul try. It was obvious it was a no try. So why do we have to watch replays and replays of it? Because our game is not a game of science. It's not like cycling. It's not like rowing. It's a human game based on a contest for the ball, where we've got a number of problems in each situation. So, I've said this before, and I know it's falling on dead ears, but I'll keep going, because we've got to look after the game. And the way we support the game is important too.
That was the final question.
That wasn't a bad answer. Eh?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.